Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well. Today, as we come to our word from the Word, and today that word is reliable. Reliable. Now, if I was just to ask you a question, very simple question, but not maybe a simple answer, how do you know that God is reliable? Now, if you've had a relationship with God for a long time, then you know He's reliable. But how do you know that? Because He's proven Himself over and over. Now, if you're a new believer or one that maybe you're just watching this and you don't believe in God, you're just, hey, I'm going to check this out and see what he's talking about. There's a way that you can know that God is reliable by looking at what he's already accomplished in the past. And today, as we look in Psalm 77, you're going to see this exact phrase basically laid out before us as he's looking back in history. And you're going to see that throughout this week. You're going to see looking back in history at the things that God has already done. That's how we know we serve a reliable God. And I love here, as he goes on in Psalm 77, we're going to look at the last few verses there, starting in verse 16 down to verse 20. And he's recalling the things that God had done. And specifically, a lot of the psalmists will always point back to the time that Israel was called out of Egypt and they were brought through the Red Sea, because that was such a pivotal moment in history. And it has such a foreshadowing of things in the New Testament as well. But even then, in verse 16, he says, "The waters saw you, O God. The waters saw you. They were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The skies sent out a sound. Your arrows also flashed about. The voice of your thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea, your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron." I love the fact that he led without leaving footprints. In other words, as we were just talking about Sunday, even in Sunday school, looking at Hebrews 11, and you see that faith is the substance of things unseen. It's basically believing a reality when you have no physical evidence to see. Now, they had plenty of physical evidence there as they were walking through the Red Sea. And you think about what has been passed on, and as they were recalling and reflecting on what God had done for the nation, what God had done for them. And as you look back in your life to see all the things that God has already brought you through before, he's reliable. That you look back, and even the times that you probably thought at the moment that God had abandoned you, I bet you if you look back, you'll see that he never left you. He never had forsaken you. The difference is a lot of times when we look back, we see, no, it was at that moment that I wasn't being faithful. It was at that moment that I took my eyes off of God, but he was still working his plan the whole time. I love the New Testament truth that even when he is faithful, even when we're not faithful. That's a great reminder that we serve a reliable God. And even just to look back and see that, look, man, the wind and the waves obey. The earth, the skies, the earth would shake when he tells it to. The clouds will rain when he tells it to. There will be, the wind will blow when he tells it to. And in all of these things that he does on a daily basis, on a moment by moment basis, he never ceases to be in control. So if he never ceases to be in control, then he never ceases to be reliable. Think maybe today, if you're having a question about something that God has called you to do, if you're questioning or wondering or even doubting, as we know that Satan will try to plant that seed of doubt to grow into disbelief. Don't believe it. Don't even contemplate that doubt for a moment. Don't contemplate that plan that Satan is trying to develop today. No, you simply trust in a reliable God who has always done what he said he was going to do. And he's doing today what he promised you he would do. And so if he's done all that, then tomorrow and the days ahead, he's going to do exactly what he's already promised to do. See, don't forget that the book of the Revelation that's laid out in Scripture is not a list of things that may happen in the future. No, it is a list of things that in God's eyes have already happened, but they're still future for us. And it's a reliable God that says that he's got us. It's a reliable God that has placed us in his hand, that no man can pluck us out if we're a true believer of God, if we have a true relationship with Jesus Christ. And today, in a world where you can't count on anything, you can always count on God. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.